Welcome to Cedar Club, Quincy's favorite local bar. A friendly corner bar with a laid-back atmosphere and affordable drinks. It's the perfect spot for a great time. With entertainment galore, including shuffleboard, golden tee, pool, foosball, and winning gaming machines. Cedar Club's latest edition is the best spot to catch your favorite game. Great drinks, great friends, and great times. Cedar Club, 20th and Cedar in Quincy. Hey everybody, welcome to the Daily Muddy. I'm Ashley Conrad. Joining me today, Greg and Jennifer Leftwich. Welcome to the Daily Muddy. Welcome to Muddy River News.
Thank you for having us.
Well, of course. So you came on willingly. We kind of had to twist his arm a little bit, but he's here, and we're ready to talk about what's important, of course, to you, to our community, and to everyone who should get involved in this, and that is Team Gage Endurance Run. And before we get to the event itself, and kind of the ins and outs of what that looks like and when, I'd like to talk a little bit about the why, which is Gage. And Gage, of course, is your son. Mm-hmm. And I don't know him, but I would like to learn a little bit more about who he was and the reason for this event.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Our little town, Palmyra, knows Gage quite well, and some of the Quincy and Hannibal areas know him quite well. We were out and about quite a bit, but Gage was our third child and came into the world, and we knew right away something was wrong. And after 14 years of pursuing a diagnosis through St. Louis Children's Hospital, we finally found out that he had a disease called N-glycanase deficiency, more commonly known as NGLY1. And at the time, we knew it would affect his muscles and his nerves. And we tried to Google it when we got home and found out there were only 2 articles on the entire internet about what the disease was. So we reached out quickly to try to find other families whose children also had the same disease, and that led us to a trip to California where we found our tribe and a few other families that we could connect with and talk things like doctors and therapies and medications and things that were happening with our children that were very common.
Sure.
And there was comfort in knowing, there were other families out there going through the same thing as us. So Gage lived a very purposeful life. We had bucket lists of things to do with him. Our 2 other children grew up knowing no handicaps.
Yeah.
They don't recognize wheelchairs or children with differences.
Sure.
So our why has turned into a celebration of who Gage was and what he did for our family, what he brought to our community, what he got from his school, his therapists, who we've stayed lifelong friends with.
Right.
So the why really has turned into empowering people to live their life to the fullest,
Sure.
enjoy a bucket list.
Yeah.
We have stickers that we pass out all over the place. And I just drew a blank what the stickers.
No, you're good.
Live a great story.
Live a great story.
Live a great story.
We paste those all over the place wherever we go. So the run kind of came about as unused or untapped energy that people still have from being around Gage. Sure. And wanting to celebrate what they can do for him. He never walked, he couldn't run, wore a diaper, we had to feed him.
Yeah.
So I think people launched into the idea of we're going to live for him and run for him, and they got energy for that.
I love that. That just gave me goosebumps. I told them if they got emotional, I was going to get emotional. It turns out I'm going to get emotional anyway. So 14 years of living without a diagnosis of what, and not finding your tribe. I love that you call it a tribe, but it's kind of like before you find a diagnosis, you don't know where to go. You don't know anybody with like stories or, the community that can help you just figure out everyday quality of life for you and for Gage. What an incredible journey that must have been. I'm sure not easy every step of the way, but the abundance that he brought to your life and to the community is now carried on through this event, which I think is just incredible. So thank you for doing that. I still have goosebumps. It's just so incredible to hear the story. So Gage was how old when he passed?
22.
22 years old.
Mm-hmm.
So it took 14 years of his life to figure out what it was. Then you found the tribe, and I'm assuming those last years were just full of trying to make things better. And by making things better, I mean, quality of life.
Absolutely.
Living your best life, right? Living your story, but also educating the community, educating the world, basically, that there are no handicaps, right? I love that attitude.
There's uniquenesses and differences, but handicap seems to have a negative connotation to it. So
100%. So through that awareness, this event and through the love for Gage, this event kind of came to life. And how long has this been going on?
Well, this will be our third race.
Third race. Okay. So now, as far as the race is concerned, can you give me some event details on what that day looks like, or how people can get involved with that?
Sure.
Well, so this group of runners had gotten together, and they'd run with Gage before
Okay.
and pushed him. And we'd had a full day of just running around the Hannibal track, or it's called the
health
wellness
track.
wellness track.
Okay.
So we decided to do this race. We'll do it out there. It starts at 9 o'clock in the morning on the 31st of May.
Okay.
Registration starts at about 8. But you run as many laps as you can around the wellness track, which is a 1-mile track, and for 4 hours. And every hour you'll do a CrossFit exercise to gain more mileage. So some of our ultra runners who can run and run and run and run,
Yeah.
you can make up your miles by doing a few extra
Okay.
physical
So
exertions.
I'm not a runner. Okay, not at all. And I know endurance.
Nor are we.
Okay, I was going to say, and I know endurance is like, that is, I mean, that's running, right? I mean,
Yes.
you are running.
Yes.
I don't do that. So what you're saying is I can make up some of those miles by doing other...
A CrossFit
Yeah,
type
other-
of exercise.
Okay.
like-
Well, I like that idea.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, not saying
And
that
it
I
evens
can...
the playing field.
It does. I'm not saying I could do those either, but at least it would give me a little more of a chance because I definitely can't run. So people show up at what time? Do they register ahead of time for this?
They can register ahead of time.
Okay.
We have a Facebook link that we'll attach, and you can register before in teams of 4. You can register individually. You can show up the morning of at 8 o'clock and register. Race starts at 9. So we usually last year we had probably 60 to 70 participants.
Okay.
We'd love to have a little more this year. All the money goes to the school that Gage attended in Hannibal, the Hannibal Mississippi State School.
Okay.
So that helps with buying adaptive equipment, any kind of purchases school needs, student needs, specific student needs.
For differently able students, majority of. Okay, yeah, I
And
love that.
some money will go to Grace Science Foundation, which is the foundation working on a cure for the NJY1
Okay.
disease.
Yeah.
This year they were able to launch a gene therapy, which had never been done before.
Sure.
And so we're trying to get that even moved
Yeah.
forward as well.
So now, since you have gone through the journey, I'll get back to the event in a second, but I just have so many questions. Okay, so
fine.
since you went through the journey, and you said two articles were online, right? And sometimes I think that might be a blessing, because if you see too many things, you're like, oh my gosh. But I'm sure
Yeah.
in your situation, because there was just nothing there, it was like, where the hell do we start?
Yeah.
Right? So now, since that, since your first, I guess, introduction to the very ultra rare disease, how many articles are out there now? Do we know? A lot more.
A lot more.
Yeah.
There's been a lot of studies. We participated in how many trips to the hospital and different research. We went out to the NIH in Bethesda, Maryland for doctor's visits, a week long's worth of doctor's visits for
Yeah.
Gage.
36 appointments in 5 days.
We've been to California to meet with the Grace Science Foundation.
Stanford
and,
Burnham.
just different things.
It was an exhausting journey, because every time we went to see a doctor, it was a fatal disease that we were looking at.
Yeah.
And we'd always been told Gage had something like cerebral palsy, and we thought, well, cerebral palsy is manageable.
Sure.
The children can live a long life with cerebral palsy
Right.
if provided the right things. So we didn't think that it was that serious of a disease until we went to the NIH, and that's the first time that we heard the word degenerative, and they said this will change over time.
Yeah.
And his muscles and his nerves are not the only thing affected, his brain as well. And so then it became kind of a race against the clock. Then it was, okay, quality of life is even more important. Now the grains of sand, were falling quickly. So we made that bucket list, and we really tried to, every event that we did with Gage, or even just sitting doing oxygen treatments at home, we made it as normal as possible. We made it as lighthearted as possible. We really put an emphasis into soaking in every second that we could, because we knew at some point we wouldn't have any seconds left.
Right.
We had always said that we would be sad later.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
we pushed it to the back burner, and we said, the only time we cried is when we were coming home from one hospital visit, and they told us that he probably, given the condition of his liver and some of the other things, that he wouldn't live to be the age of 2.
Yeah.
So we cried in the car coming home, and we said, this is the last time we're going to cry.
Yeah.
We're not going to cry about this and live like that. So we don't want our children to see that. We don't want our family to see that.
Right.
So from that point on, it was bucket lists, it was purpose, it was joy, it was happiness, and we knew we'll be sad later.
Yeah.
And then that day came, and we were sad later.
For sure.
But it's short-lived sadness, because you can either perseverate on the one day you lost him, or you can celebrate the 8,147 days that we had him.
Love it.
So
Yeah.
that's where we choose to put our energy.
I love it. And then, of course, funneling it into the event. So, and then he lived 20 years longer than they expected, which is just absolutely incredible. And I will say you guys are an inspiration of how you look at things. And I love how you so eloquently put things. I think it's just incredible. I don't know that I would be able to be so so positive, but I love the outlook. And I think outside of this run and the awareness that it's bringing and the celebration that is its purpose, you guys can teach people a lot, especially people who may be going through some difficult things. So I'd like to invite everybody to not only celebrate Gage, get involved in this for your health and for the health of everyone else that you're supporting and bringing awareness to, but if you're looking to speak to somebody who's maybe gone through something that seems impossible, and maybe you just realize that you may be dealing with the same thing, I think that would be incredible for them to come out and find their tribe, right? Because I think that's very, very important. One more time, let's talk about the event before I get too choked up. Okay, so Team Gage Endurance Run. The day is what day again?
May
May
31st.
31st.
And where is it?
At the
Han-
Hannibal Regional
Hannibal
Hospital.
Wellness Track around
Okay.
Hannibal Hospital.
Okay, around Hannibal Hospital. So it's rain or shine.
Yep.
Okay, and you can bring teams, but if you are a single racer or a single runner, you can register on your own. All the prices are kind of depending on if you're doing team or individual or how you...
Slightly staggered. Teams
Okay.
of $400. If you're doing individual, it's $35.
Okay.
Race day registration is just a little bit different. Price goes up a little bit. But
Okay.
and it's not just for ultra runners. We have a very healthy population of ultra runners that do like 100-mile races on the weekends.
Yeah.
This is their thing. We also have but we also have walkers.
I was
We
gonna
have
say-
families that come. We have
Okay.
families that push kids in strollers. My 91-year-old mother participated last year. She did lap around the track. She's
Incredible.
more of the baked good. She's a supplier of goodies and such.
You always
but-
have to have that too. Yeah.
So, but it's for walkers as well. We're not huge runners, although we've done some races and we've pushed Gage in races and such. But it's for any age, any ability.
Yeah.
But our ultra runners will be passing quite a lot, and our kind of runners will walk and run and have snacks, and
Yeah.
we have
Chat.
a lunch. We have a lunch provided by Rebel Pig afterwards.
Okay.
So meal provided.
Perfect. See, there you go. You go run or walk, gain some miles by doing some CrossFit exercises, which I think is really cool. Go chat, go show your support, go learn, and go celebrate, right?
That's what it's all about.
Yeah, I love it. Thank you both so much for coming into chatting. We will have a link on this video where you can register, but if they want more information, where would they reach out to?
We have some emails that we can provide. We have Venmo where people can register or donate. We have
The Gage Beast Endurance Facebook page.
Yep. Okay,
Facebook page.
Gage the Beast Endurance Facebook page is where they can find all of kind of the links and
Yes.
information on all that stuff. Go check it out. Go show your support, and above all, go celebrate Gage. And you guys are incredible. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming
Thank
in.
you. We appreciate
you.
it very much.
Absolutely
Thank you.
appreciate it. All right, coming up next, I sit down with DOB and we talk about digital spring cleaning. Stay tuned.
I feel like nothing changes if nothing changes, and it is time for a change. There's been a discrepancy in transparency over the last couple of years, especially, and the people deserve to know what is going on, where their tax dollars are going, what exactly they're being used for, and that too has been an issue. It shouldn't be a fight. It shouldn't be a question. This is how it is. You need to let us know what's going on. My name is April Azate, and I am running for City Council representing Ward 2 in Hannibal, Missouri.
The Tower, a great place to meet and eat. But did you know the Tower has one of the finest drink selections in our area? Along with its incredible Mexican menu, the Tower specializes in tequilas for every taste. Names like Patron, Cabo Wabo, and Hornitos. And don't forget the margaritas. On Mondays and Tuesdays, stop by and pick up a single topping pizza and get Tower margaritas to go. Enjoy the Tower at home or in our dining room, bar area, or the Tower's signature climate-controlled porch. The Tower Pizza and Mexican in Quincy.
Welcome to the Abbey, a Quincy tradition. With 6 big screens, a new larger kitchen, and now more seating capacity, the Abbey is the place to be before, during, and after the big game. Come enjoy fan favorite appetizers, steaks, burgers, and a variety of daily food and drink specials. Can't join us? Carryout is available too. Now with a convenient drive-up window to better serve you. 1736 Spring in Quincy. Opens at 3 p.m. Tuesday through Sunday. Come join all your friends at the Abbey, a Quincy tradition.
Welcome out to Kelly's on Broadway tonight. We're drinking cold beer and it feels so right. I'll meet you out on Broadway underneath Shamrock Light. We're gonna have a good time on the patio tonight. There's a party down at Kelly's on Broadway tonight. We're drinking cold beer on a champagne night. We're feeling all alone and you got no place to go. So come down here and drink a beer on Kelly's patio. Kelly's a fun place to eat and drink. 2902 Broadway.
Are you looking for the perfect venue for your next special event? Check out Utopia Event Center. Utopia has a large banquet room and an awesome bar area, perfect for anything from birthday parties to formal corporate meetings. It also offers a photo booth, stage for a DJ or a live band, and a fully stocked bar, all for only $300. Check us out at utopiaeventcenter.com or call Barn at 217-430-6559 for more information. Utopia Event Center, 900 North 12th Street in Quincy.
Instant Replay is your local sports bar. With 18 big screen TVs, we have all the sports packages from college games to pro games. We offer daily drink specials, and come check out the Bullpen, our newly renovated beer garden. Instant Replay, 2739 Chestnut in Quincy.
The Liquor Booth is your home for a huge selection of beer, wine, and spirits. The Liquor Booth has 2 locations in Quincy, 3520 Broadway and 1500 North 12th Street. The Liquor Booth, where it's always happy hour.
And welcome back. Joining me now, my pal D.O.B. What's up, Don O'Brien with the Better Business Bureau.
It's springtime.
It is.
Which means it can be 50 degrees one day, 20 degrees the next, and 80 degrees the day after.
100%. We should be used to it. We do live in the beautiful Midwest. Yeah. Never get used to it.
Have you done any spring cleaning at your house yet?
I started, and I actually started organizing under my bathroom sink, under my vanity. It's amazing how
much junk gets under there?
Everything just gets thrown in there because, you know, everybody uses it, but nobody really cares about it because it's away.
Let me ask you another question.
Yeah.
When was the last time you did any digital spring cleaning?
I knew you were going to ask me that. Okay, so...
Not to put you on the spot.
No, I am terrible about this. So let's talk about it. So digital spring cleaning.
Yes, so we all think about the cleaning you talked about.
Yes.
Cleaning out underneath the bathroom, vanity, whatever, we're going to have a yard sale, whatever that might be. But we also need to worry about our devices.
Yes.
Whether that's tablets, computers, cell phones, whatever that might be. And it's just a good time that we do this every year, every April or so. We just kind of remember folks, hey, while you're doing this other spring cleaning, remember about this spring cleaning. And we just want to make sure that that you take time to make sure that all of your devices are secure, whether that's having the latest virus software on it, which is pretty easy to do now. All that stuff is updated. Back in the day, you had to make sure that you ran the updates and all that stuff. Passwords are big. Make sure that, password managers, I've started to use a password manager now.
Yeah.
And it's so much easier than to try to, even if some people are like, well, I don't trust the technology, and what if it forgets my password? Well, A, it's not going to forget your password. And if for some reason you can't log into your place, you've still got that email address that's associated with that, with whatever account that is. So you can just easily do, hey, forgot password.
Right.
And you can update it that way.
Sure.
So, just a couple things to do, just a couple reminders, because we have a digital footprint or fingerprint that we have everywhere. I rented a car last weekend. Do you ever rent vehicles?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you ever connect your phone to the vehicle?
Yes.
Do you remember to take your phone off the vehicle when you leave the vehicle?
Yes.
You do remember. You
That's a
don't.
lie. That is see,
I got you.
Yeah, I can't lie. Yeah.
So you got to remember to do those little things. That's one thing I do is I put the phone in when I start, and then when I'm done with the thing, you've got to remove that from the car's memory.
Okay.
So little things.
Yeah.
You know,
like what we talked about this before, when you check into like a hotel and you go to their business center and you use your email, remember to log out.
Yes.
Yes.
Take that off of there.
Yes. So
just those little things that you don't think about. I saw, and you know, we've talked about this before too, and we see all these quizzes that are on Facebook or things of that nature. And I saw a popular Twitter account, or X, if you will, the other day said, share a photo of somebody famous who shares a birthday with you. And this person put up a photo of whoever he shared his birthday with. Well, if you have the same birthday as, I don't know, Taylor Swift, and you put on that you shared Taylor Swift's birthday. Now you've told the world when your birthday is.
Yes.
And that's something that not everybody in the world needs to know. Your friends might want to know, and you might want to be comfortable sharing with them, but not the whole world needs to know when your birthday is. So just be careful when you're doing those quizzes online, those social media quizzes. A lot of those are on Facebook. You know, make sure your online presence is the way that you want it to be. You know, check your Facebook. I just did a talk recently with a bunch of experienced adults, is what I call them. Okay. And some of them were on Facebook and didn't know if they had their stuff open to the world or if their stuff was locked down.
Sure.
So at the end of my talk, I talked to a couple of them, and they gave me their phone to say, and I showed them how to do the Facebook privacy update check.
Yeah.
And a couple of them were sharing their stuff with the world. So we locked that down just to have friends and family. So if you're like, boy, I'd really like to do that, how do I do that? Just simply go, you do a Google search for Facebook privacy check. It takes you step by step through that to make sure that you're only sharing with whom you want to share with.
Right. And then on the other side of that, younger social media users who may not even use Facebook, but may use, TikTok or social media or something, make sure the presence you have that you're portraying is what you would want future employers to see, right? Because they are, believe it or not, going out there to see who you are and what you how you live and what you stand for. So that's a good cleanup thing too.
Without a doubt.
On the other end.
So there's all kinds of different things in the digital world that we don't sometimes think about, but it's stuff that we want to bring up to front of mind during this time of year.
Yeah. Now, when you said digital spring cleaning, I think about, so I was on a Teams meeting and my boss, I was sharing my screen and he's like, wow, Ashley, could you have any more tabs open? Because I live,
Yes.
I mean, my entire life is just a computer screen full of tabs that I literally have no idea what's going on half the time. And then my email is, 4,000 deep, probably. I have
Of unread?
Oh, yeah. A lot of it's junk.
How do people like you
I don't know.
operate?
I don't know, but I know that I'm not alone there. But I need to just go through and unsubscribe to these things that I'm constantly
That's another
deleting.
thing you can do, unsubscribing. Another thing to help free up space, something I do somewhat regularly is, we always take photos of where we're at and whatever it might be. Go through your photo file and just delete all the stuff that you don't need.
Yeah.
So that way it opens up space on your phone so you can take more photos of needless stuff down the line.
Yeah, I have, I think, 25,000 pictures. A lot of them probably duplicates, but I can't delete anything. I don't know. It's a mental thing, I think. I have no idea. But yeah, this is a great time to go through and make sure that you are sharing only what you want to share with whom you want to share it with. Clean up some of the crap, Ashley, I'm talking to you, and then make sure that your loved ones, especially the more experienced ones, that you're offering your help to make sure that they're only sharing what they want. And then make sure you log out of all of your stuff when you're traveling or using rental cars. That's something I need to put in my bank. Yeah.
Well, we have a whole section about this at bbb.org. If you go and look at that, we've got a whole digital. Give yourself a digital spring makeover.
There you go. Everybody wants a makeover occasionally, right?
Yes.
This is the perfect time for it.
Yep.
And then, after you're done with that, clean out from under your sink.
Yes.
Maybe. Or maybe not.
Detail that car.
Yeah. I mean, especially when it's raining. Not the car, but
the inside stuff.
Inside stuff, yeah. All right, well, there you go. Digital spring cleaning. Don O'Brien, always a pleasure to sit down and talk with you. I hope you have a beautiful spring. I hope you get some spring cleaning done digitally or otherwise, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Appreciate it. All right, I think that does it for today's Daily Muddy. We'll catch you back here tomorrow for Club Muddy. See you then.